33 Richmond officers arrested in the past 3 years. Can you believe it? What's up, all you beautiful lunatics out there? You know who it is. I'm Rational Lunatic. If you don't know me, hit that like and subscribe button. Get to know me, because I would love to get to know you. And this story highlights some of the real problems we have within our police departments, sheriff's offices, and jails in general. But with that being said, you know what it is. It's not clickbait. It's true. It's blue. It's official corruption news. And we're bringing you this story right now. This report's coming from NBC News. So let's get into it. 33 officer arrests in 3 years. Sheriff asks, what are we doing wrong? Well, I don't know, Sheriff. What are we doing wrong? Smuggling and assaults have plagued an overcrowded and understaffed jail in Richmond County, Georgia, where the sheriff blames low pay. Richard Roundtree, the sheriff of Richmond County, Georgia, has a problem. More than 30 of his sworn officers have been arrested over the past 3 years, mostly on charges of smuggling drugs or items into the county jail or assaulting inmates. Quote, we asked ourselves, what are we doing wrong? What more can we do? Roundtree said in June after announcing the arrest of a jailer on charges that he passed synthetic marijuana to a detainee. In some ways, the crisis in Richmond County reflects a dilemma facing many of America's county jails, where people accused of crimes are held before trial or serve short sentences. Across the country, jails are overcrowded, understaffed, experts, inmates, and workers say, making conditions worse for both detainees and guards. The arrests in Richmond County may be a result of those factors, although Roundtree has said that he's still trying to figure out why there have been so many officers charged with crimes and how to curb the misconduct. I mean, maybe we have a problem with the sheriff. Quote, we are missing something in the hiring process. Are we not providing enough training? Possibly. Roundtree said at the news conference. Quote, all of these issues have been exhaustively addressed and discussed, and yet misconduct is still occurring despite the fact that deputies are consistently being arrested and losing their careers. Those poor deputies. Unquote. He added, quote, the only constant truth we have been able to detect is monetary gain. It simply appears to be all about the money. Does it though? Does it appear to be all about the money? Does all the assaults against male and female inmates appear to be all about the money? Because to me, that appears to be more of a power trip. And a bunch of youngsters straight out of high school getting hired on before they even had a girlfriend. Thanks, babe. Roundtree's office declined to Roundtree's office declined a request for an interview or to answer written questions, referring NBC News to his prior public statements. The sheriff, who says his staff numbers about 700, said it would help if the county commission gave him more money to boost salaries. Payroll records show that jailers earn an average of $42,500 a year, and road patrol deputies earn an average of $46,500 a year. Low pay, Roundtree has said. I don't know, that's around $4,000 a month. And I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, let me know in the comments, but I'm pretty sure that Georgia's not a real expensive state to live in. And I know that's anywhere between $25 to $30 an hour, which is what a lot of union road workers make, unless they're out of town for days on end. So really, his officers are making above the average pay in America. They're living in a lower income state, so lower cost of living. So close to $50,000 a year is really not that bad. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think. But Richmond County, Augusta Commission member Wayne Guilfoyle said money is not an excuse. No, sir. No, it's not. Quote, the reason they're doing this illegal activity has nothing to do with pay. It's a character flaw in the person, unquote, Guilfoyle said. Quote, I think he needs to raise his standards on the quality of people he's hiring. Exactly. Like I said, maybe it's a problem with the sheriff and his ability to hire decent people for the job and take immediate action. Because I do know that a lot of these jailers and cops get disciplined, and not even very severely, more than once before any real action is taken, or they lose their job. In a lot of cases or instances, if an officer would have lost his or her job when they should have, they would actually be able to, what's it called? What am I, God dang it, what am I trying to say? They could actually, they wouldn't have a chance to get arrested, or create these crimes if they were fired instead of, just a slap on the wrist for some pretty messed up, offenses before they're ever criminally charged. Roundtree said that he is exploring, quote, enhanced vetting, unquote, or recruits including more robust background checks and expanding training and access to in-house counselors to try to curb misconduct. Quote, we are going to have to put something in place enforcing our core values, what kind of agency we want to be, and what won't be tolerated, unquote, Roundtree said in a March news conference. Documents obtained through public records requests show that most of the 33 arrests involved contraband or assaulting or having sex with inmates. 13 arrests involved a range of allegations of on-duty and off-duty misconduct, including domestic violence and driving while intoxicated, all which should be immediate fireable offenses, in my opinion. All 33 were fired or resigned after their arrests. 4 cases involving alleged assaults of inmates were dropped after grand juries declined to indict the officers. One of those officers has since gotten his job back, and another now works for a nearby police department. So 2 assault cases are still cops. They're they're cops again. Which, how do you have an assault charge? Because I know, at least where I'm from, if you have like a domestic battery or an assault charge, you can't even carry a firearm. So how can you have an assault charge and then be a cop who carries a firearm? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Most of the cases are still pending in court, records show. 2 officers have been sentenced to probation, one for charges related to smuggling, the other for sexual battery against a detainee. So for sexual battery against an inmate, the officer got probation. Nice. Our system's doing a really good job. Lawyers who have represented people held in this jail said in interviews that there aren't enough staff, and many of those who work there are inexperienced and stressed out. Yeah, stressed out, they're gonna get busted. Quote, the problem is that they have a hard time finding people, and when they're understaffed, they're giving responsibilities to people who have not been battle tested long enough, unquote. Jack Batson, a lawyer in Augusta. Another lawyer, Tanya Jeffords, said 33 arrests in 3 years indicate that problems in the jail have gotten too serious to overlook. Quote, poor treatment of inmates in jail is systemic, but most of the time a rug is thrown over it, Jeffords said. At this point, it's gotten so bad that the rug had to be pulled back. Yeah, and in a lot of these cases, they do. They sweep these offenses under the rug. They slap them on the wrist, and they keep them working. And that's just harmful to, a lot of people who don't deserve to be mistreated because, as we know, statistically, most people that are arrested these days, and for the past at least 20 years, are mostly on drug offenses. Most of them that have, are sick, that have problems, that are, that life kind of kicked in the balls or stepped on their back, and they didn't know how to deal with it, and they got into substance abuse, and they end up in the system. And it's people like this that are being abused by pieces of garbage like these with a badge. And but finally, within one county, there has been enough arrests of police officers that now the rug's been pulled back and they can see everything that's been swept under, and now they're having to take action. I'm just surprised, and I could be wrong, as I do more research on other counties, other reports, I may find this to be wrong, but I'm just surprised. So far, it's just the one county I've seen with this many arrests in the one county, because it seems, the more and more news reports that I come across, there's a lot of corrupt officials and corrupt cops out there. And that's not saying I'm against cops or I'm against government. I wholeheartedly believe we need a police force. There are people that do deserve to be put away. There are people that do deserve to be punished. But if you're gonna hold a badge or a place in office, that should be your first priority, is to protect and serve the public, to be unbiased when you're dealing with certain people, because that's your job. You know what I mean? If you can't put your own bias or humanity aside in some cases, or your own power trip aside, then you shouldn't be carrying a badge. You shouldn't be going for a place in office. If you don't care like a doctor or a nurse cares about their patients, you shouldn't be in that position. Plain and freaking simple. But like I said, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much if you made it to the end of this video. Again, if you're on TikTok, you don't catch the whole video, jump over to YouTube, where the full video will be over there. And with that being said, until the next time, stay wild.